Hi, friends. Joseph Varghese here from Success Circles. I was talking to a coaching client a little while ago, and she asked me questions. She asked me if she could create more time in her life. She's a busy executive with the work she does, and very high earner, and a pretty extraordinary person. She's done a lot of work for herself. And she asked me, how do I bend time? How do I create more time? Having two kids, having a busy life, and having all these things she's involved with. How do I bend time? And I wanted to provide some insight on that because I believe that I've been able to bend time for the past 12 plus years. And it's actually a process to make it happen. And I'm very blessed because I actually studied a system years ago called Time of Your Life by Tony Robbins. And soon afterwards, I did an event with him called Date with Destiny in Palm Springs, California. And a bunch of us attending that event, we came back and we're like, well, we have these great breakthroughs. We know our purpose in life. How do we stay engaged in what we're going after? How are we able to bend time and maximize our day, given the busy lives we live? So I created a framework called Success Circles. The idea is every sport has a huddle. And as leaders, as entrepreneurs, as business owners, as peak performance athletes, like I see yourself and myself are, it's necessary each day to have a huddle to be able to kind of re-strategize, to clarify, to really focus on what really does matter, to really share our why, to give gratitude, and get feedback each day. And out of that, it's something I do each day to bend time. Bending time is about being resourceful, moment by moment. And we're given 86,000 seconds per day, and it is possible to really maximize in those seconds per day and really be with the people in our lives when we're connecting with them, including, for example, my daughter. When I'm with my daughter, to really be with her consciously versus being distracted or sidetracked by notifications on my phone or my wife's iPhone, perhaps. It's really being with her fully, and it's a work in progress. I will say that I've been able to get more done, and the people in my community Success Circles have been able to get a lot more done than the average person out there. And it's really out of being resourceful. Every day for us, we start with a huddle. That's the design of the program, and we have a momentum buddy, a person we connect with one-on-one each day. And in that momentum buddy conversation, in that huddle call we have each day, we clarify, kind of re-strategize. We look at what's worked the previous day, the lessons for the previous day, and how we can apply those lessons to our current day, perhaps, or really simply how we can maximize in our day today, really honoring our big why, our values each day, course correcting based on feedback we've gotten, maybe for a couple minutes of feedback, and grounding it all in intention and gratitude and then focus, really clarifying and sharing my one thing or our one thing for the day. And it's pretty amazing what happens out of that. So I'm kind of giving you a bit of a framework, how it all works. My clients call me the breakthrough engineer. And as such, I design frameworks for freedom and fulfillment for others. And it's my passion, actually. I'm a process engineer. That's where I used to be years ago. And when I became an entrepreneur some 16 years ago, I found it challenging to stay consistent each day. I wasn't brought up to be an entrepreneur. And I find most entrepreneurs were not. We have to actually figure out, strategize how to kind of be that and how to succeed as that. So I've been grateful because I've had a lot of mentors over the years, people I've worked with directly, including Tony and his system, RPM. I've worked with David Allen, attended several events. I'm actually, I help organize a GTD group in New York City at times. And, it's been part of so many other processes and books. And The Power of Mindful Engagement is another one of my favorite books out there. And I talked to you about this. I'm not here to clutter your mind with things to do. But I want to say that when you're building a house, or you may have tiles in the wall that's in your house, or maybe certain rooms in the house, and it takes something to have the tiles stick in the wall. And in addition, there's some grout that goes between the tiles that keep the tiles there and keep the tiles there for an extended period of time. And I say that is that it's important to have something in your life that makes it stick. You go to events, you're excited after you go to an event, let's say, or you read an amazing book, let's say The Powerful Engagement by Tony Schwartz. And it takes something to, after having these great distinctions, revelations, to keep it all in progress, right? To keep yourself in progress, to keep the momentum going. It takes something to continually re-engage the prefrontal cortex of the brain, that part of the brain that wants us to focus and get results. and to grow and to live courageously, versus the amygdala part, which is about playing it safe. It takes something to like really keep that going. And for me, it's about momentum. So 3.5 years ago, before my daughter was born, actually, we designed the first Pure Momentum Accelerator Mastermind program. It's a 90-day program. Kind of takes some ideas from the 90-day year or the 12-week year. Actually, I think our process came even before those ideas, those books came into play out there. And basically, it's about every 90 days running, being part of an accelerator, where every month there's a sprint, and you're going after your goals during the sprint. People are referring your business, and people are inspiring you to live boldly. And as one person shares how they're living boldly, it inspires all of us to live boldly as well. And momentum creates momentum, right? That's what we believe. That's one of the core facets of our community. If you're succeeding, then other people around you will be succeeding as well also. In my life, I look at myself as being a catalyst, and the people around me, my family, my friends, I'm continually inviting them to play a bigger game. So I expect them to succeed and to show up powerfully and to be on top of their health, for example. And, it's about me being a role model, being an example around that. And also, still having that expectation, showing up and holding others lovingly accountable to be their greatest selves. So that's what we do within our community, Pure Momentum. Pure Momentum is it's a 90-day program within Success Circles. Initially, when we first launched it 3.5 years ago, we called it Bridging the Gap. And all that means is that, you might be working with a coach, let's say, or you might be going to events per se, and there are all these gaps between, and it takes something to stay engaged in possibility, stay engaged toward your goals each day. And so what we've done is we've built a system, a framework that bridges the gap. So you're continually inspired and inspired action. You're continually reflecting, really focusing on the key things that'll move you forward. And we're all celebrating as a community. We're all thriving as a community. And that's how it works. So it is possible to freeze time. It is possible to bend time also. And it's really maximizing on each moment, right? The more grateful you can be, the more resourceful you can be right now, the more connected with your why you can be right now. I promise you can get a lot done over the course of, these few minutes. One thing I heard years ago is if you want to get something done, ask someone who's, amazingly busy, right? Because they'll figure out a way to put that in existence in such a way where it gets done, right? And for most of us, we overthink things quite a bit. We're in our head, we overthink, we're in our thoughts quite a bit. They say that the average person has between 60 and 80,000 thoughts in their head each day. And it's about quieting those thoughts. Meditations, can help with that. Doing affirmations can help with that. Having a huddle, I find, each day will give you the greatest results, especially if you're huddling with someone else who's a step or two ahead of you. And you have a strategy call where you're focusing on key questions, really that, to have you look at the lessons, right? To have you look at how you're raising your standards each day. And out of that, really making the right choices, setting the right focus for the current day. To maximize success, it's really simply about focusing on key things, ideally in the early part of your day, before noontime, 2 or 3 things. And if you can succeed and hit a home run by noontime, then you're pretty good. You're beating about 80% of the population by doing that. Continually, if you're able to maximize in your afternoon and, get a workout in and, really honor the other areas of life, you're reaching the 90%. You're 90% percentile as far as success goes. So I want to invite you to huddle up, to join me, Pure Momentum, for these next 90 days. And it's an opportunity to really thrive, to get your stuff in order, to really maximize and to really make the 2mm shifts each day that'll get you extraordinary results. And simply about focusing on the right 20%. It's focusing on the right stuff each day. It's about having fun. It's about celebrating, right? I mean, I'm a big believer too. I've studied Dan Sullivan's work too over the years, and it's about when you can build as much joy time in your day, those magic moments. What happens is that, when you get back to work fully the next day or maybe a few days later, you can be fully immersed in what's needed, focusing on your strengths toward making things happen. So check it out, puremomentum.com. Sign up for the next 90-day accelerator. There's an application process that goes into it. And my commitment is that we're all able to maximize, make the most out of this experience, this game we call life, and make a difference in the world too at the same time. Thanks so much for listening. And I hope to see you on the other side.